Yes, guys, big up everybody. Welcome back to Klopp Talk TV. Not Klopp Talk TV. Klopp Talk TV's here. L5 Star FC. You can tell I haven't been doing it for the last 2 weeks, the international break. I hope you're all doing amazingly well. I hope you're all having a brilliant week. And today, I hope you enjoy the Arsenal preview, which we do have on the channel today. Make sure, guys, if you haven't done so already, do all the housekeeping business. I don't need to keep reminding you. Make sure you hit the like button and you hit that subscribe button. It does really help the channel, so make sure you go and do so. As always, we have a panel for these Premier League previews, and in specifically Arsenal. It's such a big game, and it's made of high significance based on the fact Liverpool are coming into this game after losing against West Ham, and Arsenal are coming into this game off the back of a 10-game unbeaten streak. We've got no other than here to the welcome to Salah. Twisting my words today, bro. How are you, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Yeah, been a good 2 weeks off, of course. I did say I'm happy the international break is here, but yeah, I feel good.
Glad you're feeling good, bro. Ready to hit it back in the action as soon as possible. And we have Ben, the second panelist. How are you doing, Ben?
Nah, I'm amazing, man. I'm happy the international break is done, honestly. This one felt a bit longer than the others, not going to lie, but
yeah,
from now on until March is just straight Liverpool. You know, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup is going to come in as well, so I'm excited, really.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. You know, it's going to be football coming thick and fast every 3 games every week. And that does invite the possibilities for injuries. However, we will be covering the content every step of the way. First and foremost, welcome to the Liverpool Talk Show. I hope you're all having a brilliant week, first and foremost. And as always, we start these shows off with a kickoff question. So, the kickoff question is, as Liverpool play Arsenal, since Jurgen Klopp arrived at Liverpool, how many goals have Liverpool and Arsenal scored in this fixture since 2015? In A, 49, B, 48, C, 51. Ben, I'm going to come to you first. How many goals have been scored?
Just in the Premier League, or are we counting?
Just in the Premier League.
They don't play Champions League.
No. I mean, we played them like what? I think it was FA Cup.
Carabao Cup, and Carabao Cup. The Carabao Cup.
Yeah. Can you please just like say the answers again?
So, 48, 49, or 51?
I'm gonna say 51.
What are you saying, Salah?
What's the middle answer?
48, 49, 51.
I'm gonna go 49.
I can tell you Salah is closer because it's 48. 48 goals, though. Can we all appreciate how this guy as mad for 6 years producing that goal return is absolutely insane. So a big up to both of you lot, and we've got a big show coming for you. Now, Ben, I just want to bring you the question. Obviously, Arsenal are coming into this game with significant form. Their form is so good. This game is set up as a blockbuster game based on the fact Liverpool are coming into this game off the back of a loss, shaky performances, towards the end of that period of games before that international break. How do you think this game will play out? Do you think it'll be a thrilling encounter like the goal stat I just give you? Or do you think it'll be a lot more contained based on the fact Liverpool will just hang in there and try and, grind the game through and try and produce, a quality result at the end of the day? But it probably won't be as significant as the others.
I definitely think it'll be, a high-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe 4-3 or 3-2. Like you said, they've been flying recently. I think they're only like a few points behind us now, even probably, I think, like 2 points or 3 points. I'm not too sure how the log looks right now, but yeah. So I think that, especially, with the likes of Smith Rowe, who's been, on fire recently, Saka's there, he's always a threat. So I feel like they'll definitely give us problems attacking wise, but we can also give them problems because we have Mo Salah, we have Sadio Mane. So I think, it'll be a tough test for us we shouldn't just look at it and be like, okay, it's Arsenal, we can just, disregard them. But I feel like they'll definitely be looking at this and, looking at our recent form, and they'll think of it as a chance for them to come to Anfield and maybe steal 1 point away from us. That's how I definitely think they'll be thinking about things going into this game.
Yeah, big up. Ben, how do you envisage it, Salah? Do you contrast that? Do you think it'll be quite a cagey game, or do you think with the forward powers in, Emile Smith-Rowe, Lacazette, Aubameyang, they're ticking very nicely at the moment, and then you look at our front three who are in scintillating form at the moment. Do you fancy this game to be end-to-end goals galore, or do you think it'll be a bit more contained?
I was literally took this when I was walking on the way home with one of my Arsenal mates, and I was like, don't be surprised if we play bad and if we lose, because I have a feeling, although maybe if you've watched the last video, I said that we will get beat, and still stand by my opinion. I think we will get beat at Anfield come Saturday. That's just my opinion, just how I view it, because I think you can look at past games and you can say, oh, we banked 6, we banked 5, we banked 5-1, we did whatever the scoreline, we scored 48 goals, but you have to look at Arsenal now this season. They've kept them I think they've kept the top 3 for most clean sheets. Ramsdale is in exquisite form. And then you have Tomiyasu as well, who's transformed that defense. That Arsenal defense is not a joke no more. It's not a joke thing like it used to be under Wenger or when Arteta first came in. That defense is serious now. So that's what I'm saying. It won't be goals galore. I think, again, score predictions we'll get into later, but I think this is going to be a really, really tough game for us.
I think it's tough as well, in particular, filtering in the fact that, international football teams, players going away, playing different systems with different nationalities, coming back to that one idea can always be difficult. But Ben, I want to ask you the question. Arsenal are in a brilliant vein of form at the moment. Do you fancy their chances in potentially pushing for Europe? They've sorted the goalkeeper out. We all know how big a goalkeeper, how detrimental a position like that is in terms of pushing forward for these big competitions. But filtering in the other elements, Ben White was often laughed about, but he's sort of come into a little bit of form. You have Tomiyasu as well. You have the double pivots in Lokonga and Partey, ticking very nicely. And then you have the front force of Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka, Aubameyang, Lacazette. How do you think Arsenal's chances fare off, come the end of the season? Do you think if they can continue this vein of form, do you think they can push for potentially the Champions League? Obviously, Europa League's maybe a more realistic target for them this season, but I think that would still be progress. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was talking to one of my mates who also supports Arsenal, and he said it was end of last season. He said he was happy that they didn't qualify for the Europa League, not even the Conference League, because he said he wants them to solely focus on the Premier League and, get kind of that rhythm and sort out, the team that they would call their first 11. And I mean, the same thing happened with us, like with Klopp's. When the Klopp first came in, we finished like 8th, I think. And then in his first full season, then we finished 4th, qualified for the Champions League. So I feel like them not being in any European competition definitely helps them a lot, because now they can focus all their attention, on the league, qualifying for, Europa League. I don't think they'll qualify for the Champions League, but qualifying for the Europa League, I feel like that definitely has to be a goal of theirs. And I mean, as well as the cup competitions, they have some really good youngsters, so they'll focus on the cups as well. But I feel like they will go to Europe. That's definitely one of their goals, and I think that they'll accomplish that, man.
Yeah, obviously, I'm just finding some of Arsenal's last results. So I'm just got the results here. Now, obviously, the first game, they had Brentford 2-0 loss. They played Chelsea then, 2-0 loss there, 5-0 hammer into Arsenal, Manchester City. It was a very tough few games for them. Considering they also had a COVID outbreak, you have to take that into account as well. A lot of Arsenal fans were branding this season to start on Saturday, the 11th of September, when they faced Norwich, got a slender 1-0 lead. That did invite a lot of criticism, however, considering the fact they didn't really blow Norwich out the water, like other teams are at the minute. They went and got a good result away from home against Burnley. We all know how tricky it is to play at Burnley. And then that's when the stand-out result come in, when they face Spurs. That's when I feel like people really caught the eye of Arsenal and really give them the respect, I think, for the football they were producing previously. Then they went to Brighton, got a 0-0 draw. We all know how good Brighton is. Well, we found out in particular how good Brighton were the last time we played them at Anfield. But then they had a little bit of a slipper, 2-2 against Crystal Palace, but have since regained their form with 3 wins on the bounce against Aston Villa, Leicester away, and Watford at home. Well, that's impressive, Salah. That's impressive. But I just asked the Ben the question: how do you fancy Arsenal's chances of pushing for Europe? Obviously, do you think, based on their current vein of form, if they can keep that up or keep, there's always going to be a dip in form if you're playing that well. But what is the realistic target by the end of the season, based on the fact they've sorted the goalkeeper out? The defence looks a lot more patched up. They've got Tommy Arsu, who's in a decent vein of form, Lokonga, Partey, and the front force in Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, Lacazette is all seeming to click. What's the realistic target?
I think, again, it's too early to say, but you're looking at realistically the way they've started the season. They have to push for that Champions League spot because, they're good enough to get that. Let's be honest. Although maybe that striker role is a bit of an issue for them now, they're good enough to get that Champions League. If not, again, think the Europa League is that the Arsenal too good for the Europa League, but United now just flopping completely as just blown this top 4 race wide open. But it will be a good watch because you're gonna get West Ham, maybe Leicester in the mix. So, yeah. Again, I think Arsenal should be aiming for the top 4 finish, but I won't be surprised if they don't because West Ham are going to be sniffing.
Yeah, I fully agree, mate. I think the longer Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in charge of Manchester United, I feel the more they dent in their chances of finishing in Europa League. I feel like having him in there is really like an anchor on a ship. It is really holding them back from pushing. Because let's be honest, they have the players to push for that competition. But I think due to the fact they're in a form at the minute, it doesn't seem to be like it's going to, as soon elevate. It almost looks like odds on that it blows the race wide open. I wouldn't say Arsenal have that position certified. I think it was a common theme that we should just wait until Christmas to see and distinguish where these teams are. But we did allude to it a few times there. Guys, please feel free to get involved in the discussion. Drop a few comments down below and drop a few questions in. And obviously a few standout performance for Arsenal: Smith Rowe, Saka, Obama blood clot young. Carl Battle says, I hope we batter Arsenal, so Arsenal Fan TV will be a good watch after the game. We all know how heated that can get, but obviously a few top names for Arsenal being mentioned there. But who is Arsenal's biggest threats? Now, we've got a bit of tactical analysis. I tried looking up at some clips to try and see how their vein of form has suddenly changed. And what I found out from those clips was that whenever you watch Arsenal, you see they can deal with the high press very well. The double pivots stay, giving Ramsdale a very two key cut options. It pushes the front force of the team. I think it was Leicester, the clip that I was watching. Leicester, the front 3 were pushing up and the 2 double pivots were standing in between, and it just allowed Ramsdale to pick the 2 passes or pick the wing backs who were dropping deep as well. That is very good from Arsenal, and that's one thing we have to bear in mind. But the one thing that I can take optimism from that bit of analysis was the fact that if we put a centre forward who can play in between the lines, I think Minamino will start this game, and I'll say why. But I just feel like this is a game for him because when you get your sixth sense, I can see Minamino playing this game. But based on their tactical analysis, they love to play out from the back and they love to cut the supply of the CDM off. If you look at the 2 attacking players in Aubameyang and Lacazette, they stand right when they're defending, they stand right in between either side of the CDM. So Will this be a game where Fabinho doesn't quite get his game flowing? How do you sense the midfield going, Ben? Do you think it will be one of those games? Obviously, we have a few injury doubts going into this game. We have, I think it's Henderson, Thiago, do our doubts for this game. Fabinho's just come back from Brazil. Alisson also, and you have other injuries to the defence like Robertson, Firmino. Injuries like this, Mane had a little injury in Senegal. How do you think the team will fare out against what is a very confident Arsenal off the ball and on the ball?
Yeah, I feel like, of course, it'll be a tough game. And I mean, like I said, I was talking to one of my mates, and, especially at the start of the season, Arsenal were doing a lot of chopping and changing, different starting lineups, different formations. So it was a bit ironic because he hated that. Like, he wanted them to get a proper starting lineup, stick to our formation. And I was a bit jealous at the time because, sometimes, like you said, you do want to see, new people come in. Like you said, I wouldn't mind him playing, but I don't know. If he plays and, he has a master class, then we'll all take our hats off for him. But obviously, if he doesn't, there'll be a lot of things to be said about him. But in terms of the team, I feel like we know the situation that we're in with the injuries that we have. Robbo, I think I read somewhere that it was a 50-50 with him, but I still wouldn't start him. I mean, even if he was fit, like, I wouldn't start him. Like, I just feel like Tsimikas has proved himself. He's shown what he can do. So now, I mean, here's his chance now. Play him against Arsenal. I mean, good form. Let's see what he can do in this game. I mean, Sadio, we're still not sure about him. Divock Divock just had a dead leg, so he's in contention for this game. But yeah, I feel like we shouldn't go into this game, too many changes. We should just go in and play our game. Obviously, there are some changes that we have to make. The midfield is going to be extremely important because, especially, with us that press, when we press high, your midfield is extremely important because they need to be the ones that, support your attacking players when they do press. So in terms of team use, that's all I have to say, really.
Big up to Ben, hit the nail on the head with everything there. Salah, we're going to start with you with team predictions. Do you think we'll, to counteract that, low block that Arsenal do play, they also like to play out from the back, as I did mention there. How do you think we'll play against them? Do you think we could go for 4-2-3-1, or do you think we'll typically go for that 4-3-3? You muted, bro. Muted.
4-3-3. That's how he is. You won't change it, sadly. Won't change the highline. Won't change 4-2-3-1. It is what it is. I think Alisson goal. Trent at right back. Kanate right centre back. Van Dijk left centre back. Left back Costa Tsimikas. CDM Fabinho. Left centre mid Thiago. Right centre mid. Okay. The thing is, if if Henderson is fit, come on, we have no other player to play, so I'm happily playing. Not happily, but I'll play Henderson. But if I see Ox on this team sheet, I'm gonna be livid come match day because if this guy is still gonna start against Arsenal after what he did against West Ham, oh my God, I will not be ready for that game because that midfield would be so static of Thiago, Ox, and Fabinho. So yeah, I think Henderson, although I'm not too fond of him this season, he hasn't had the best performances this season. I think it would be better if he started. So yeah, that's my middle three. And then on the right, I'm going to go Salah. Left, I'm going to go Mane. Up top, I think now you've seen the resurgence of Origi and his form. But I think, again, Jota is miles better. So I'm going to go Jota up there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've gone for I did a little preview on my channel. I don't know if you can see it, but I've gone for Alisson in goal. I've gone for Tsimikas, Van Dijk, and Matip as a block of 3. I feel they need to stick deep. I only think one fullback should be advancing, and I think that's Trent Alexander-Arnold, based on the fact that Arsenal do like that numerical overload. I've then gone for Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago, who will drop in as a midfield, a block of 3, and then up front. I've gone for Minamino, Jota, and Salah. I think Minamino will drop in as a cam in between the lines just to unlock the high press that Arsenal seem to get out the way of. That's my team pretty much. I just think I'm dropping Mane, not because Mane's been poor, just because I feel like a little bit of variation could really kickstart our form, and considering Takumi Minamino, whenever he's been called upon, he's done a decent job, and I think all he needs is one good performance for his confidence. I don't think we should wait until Leicester away in the Carabao Cup to play him, because let's be honest, when are we going to see him pick up a bit of form if he's going to play every once in a while? I just think we need to develop his performances and develop his appearances in just in a Liverpool shirt altogether, because I just feel like, he's running out of games. He's running out of games because he's not getting played. No Mane. I've gone for no Mane purely because you look at Jota, he always has a goal against Arsenal. He always has a good game against Arsenal. I fancy him over Mane because of the fact that he always has a decent game, and why take away a player who always has a good game against Arsenal? Bearing in mind, I think he scored 2 goals away from home the last time he played Arsenal in the Premier League, and scored on his debut at Anfield against Arsenal as well. So he has a goal in him, and I think at the moment I would bring Mane on as an impact sub, because let's be honest, off the bench, Ben, would you agree we've been cut short of that impact player to come on? And I feel like having an impact player in Mane on the bench can really get us out of danger if we're caught with a man, if we're caught out doing that 90 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, basically what happens is we'll bring on Minamino or Origi and just hope and pray that they'll just pull off something. So I wouldn't mind having Mane on the bench. I mean, he did train in the week, even though he came off injured. I think Henderson and Milner also trained, but I think they trained separately. But having Mane to come off the bench, I mean, if we need it, isn't the worst scenario. I mean, could maybe bring Mane on, switch to maybe a 4-2-3-1, especially because we know how thin our midfield is now. And I mean, if Henderson can't play or Milner can't play, then 4-2-3-1 wouldn't be a bad idea. But I think that we'll go with Alisson, Trent. I think Matip and Van Dijk will play. I think Tsimikas will play. I hope he plays. Then in the midfield, like we said, it's a tough one. I think Fabinho, Thiago, and I think Henderson will play as well, even though there was that injury scare. That I think he'll still play. Front three, I was gonna put Mane in, but your prediction, Elliot, kind of just threw me off. So I think I'll go with Jota, Minamino, and Salah as well.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just fancy Jota over Mane, and then where would you play Mane? Would you play him really in the cam? I'm not too sure. You could potentially put Salah there, but I just feel like Salah at the moment is the best right wing in world football. I don't think there's anyone better at the moment, so why take him out of position? And then you have that cam spot, which is obviously freed out. So for me, that is what I would go for. Obviously, we've heard from all the lads, and we've touched a bit about the Thiago and Henderson stuff as well. Before we get into score predictions, we're going to talk about how significant these next few weeks are for Liverpool. Salah, obviously, these next weeks, we all know how fine these margins are between losing this title race, or getting a stamp on it, getting a firm grip of it. How significant are these few weeks for Liverpool Football Club to really cement their place? Because we need a good Christmas. We need a good Christmas, but taking into account January, February time, we always seem to drop off the mark. We need a good run of games now, don't we?
Yeah, I think we've already dropped too many points that should have not been dropped. So to drop points from here on now is going to be a disappointment, especially during Christmas and now. So again, just win game by game. Whatever game comes, just win. That's all I want to ask for. Get the 3 points and move on to the next game and try win the league.
Yeah, exactly. And if you look back at, a few years, 2 years ago when we did win the league, if you look at November in particular and December, those were the games where we pulled out the clutch performances and got the 3 points when we were playing well. A few results come to mind in Leicester home, Aston Villa away, Man City at home. December, we had the Club World Cup. A lot of people were doubting us to come back, play Leicester. We were going to get beat. We won 4-0. And, performances like that, it just put a stamp. It put a message. It sent a message out to the whole league. It sent a message out to the whole world of football that we were there to stay for that league and we were there to just fight on all costs. Ben, obviously, same question to you, bro. How significant are these few weeks, considering the fact we've dropped a lot of points already? Although I do contrast it in the sense that I don't think the league will be won by the ridiculous number of points it was 2 seasons ago. So taking that to mind, filtering that in, how significant is this week? These 2 weeks, sorry.
I think I said it last time when I was on here. I don't think the league will be won by like 98 points, 99 points like that has, the past few years. But I mean, that still doesn't mean that we can afford to drop points because, I mean, when we drop points, Chelsea and City take advantage. So, I mean, next few weeks, probably about the next month, are really, really critical for us, to find our form. Because, I mean, December, we all know how packed December is, man. I mean, I was just looking at the fixtures now. It's Arsenal, Southampton, Everton, Wolves, then Aston Villa, then Newcastle. Then after that, we play Tottenham. So those games, especially, the first
important,
four, ending with Aston Villa, which is going to be my birthday, by the way. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, the next month is really, really critical for us so that we can find our form. Because I mean, if we want to compete for the league, I mean, we know that we can slip up at any moment. So we don't want to be losing unnecessary points at this stage of the league.
Yeah, and Ben, I want to ask you this question, bro. Obviously, we're dropping points in significant games where we should be winning those points. If going back to this Arsenal game, how do you think we need to win it? Do you think Klopp's man management has to be dealt with better? Because that is a significant, topic of discussion pretty much on the whole dropping points thing. Do you think in order for us to beat Arsenal, do you think his man management has to be better, bringing players on slightly earlier, maybe changing system if things aren't going well slightly earlier to allow that time to really click into gear? How do you think Klopp's man management could affect the Arsenal game?
Yeah, I feel like the game is pretty much riding on that because if we look at the West Ham game, I said Thiago comes on way too late because look, I think we were already down at that point. Yeah, we were 2-1 down. So Thiago isn't an attacking midfielder who's gonna, score a screamer from like 25 yards. And when you bring on Thiago, you bring him on to control the game so that we can, just nullify the attacks, nullify, the counter attacks. We bring him on, we hold the ball, and then when the time is right, he can make that killer pass to Trent or Robbo or Firmino or whoever, and they can maybe make another pass, give the assist, and then we have a goal. Putting him on when we're 2-1 down doesn't make sense because now everything is rushed. We're trying to get the ball forward as quickly as possible so we can get it into the box and just hope that something falls to somebody. So that's what I'm saying. His man management is extremely important. If things aren't working, don't be afraid to change it. I mean, Ivan said earlier on, we bring on Minamino or we bring on Origi and we just hope for the best. And I mean, if that's the case, like sometimes these guys aren't going to win you games. So sometimes you are going to have to change something up tactically. If you want to bring on Origi, change something up tactically that will suit his game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
I get
his
you.
is going to be extremely important, especially in terms of who he brings on off the bench, the likes of Minamino and Origi as well, because they don't. Let's not forget these guys have to get games. They have to get used to playing against Arsenal and playing against teams that are going to cause us trouble, because when Mane and Salah leave, we're going to be relying on them.
Yeah. What about you, Salah? I want to ask you the question, mate. How many performances before Hendo's gone? Hendo's dropped, mate. How many performances?
Again, it's not like I completely hate the guy. I've just criticized him because he hasn't had the best of seasons. Let's be honest. I think we can all agree that he hasn't had the best of seasons, and there's a lot of factors and cons that he brings to that midfield, especially this season, which for me are too much. But now our midfield is so limited. You have Curtis Jones out with some 2-week eye injury, and then you have Keita. Keita is back next week, but still, although Thiago's just slowly integrated. But then if you don't play Henderson, the option is to play Ox. Like, it's to lose. Like, I'd rather play Henderson than Ox. I'd rather trust Henderson than trust Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So, again, hopefully he can prove me wrong. Hopefully he can have a good game. But, again, if he doesn't have another good game, I would be disappointed.
Yeah. And obviously going back to what I asked Ben, Salah, how important is Klopp's man management in these next few weeks? Because, we have to criticise it because, of the past, the games that we have not played well. He's brought players on way too late for my liking, or maybe changed system, and it hasn't got through until too late. And then, like Ben said, everything seems to be rushed. How important is that going forward?
I think he's always done that. He's always very good in his substitutions late, and I think, again, it's a bad thing, but he won't change it. But he can't complain about injuries anymore because he had chance in the summer to strengthen, and then he went and waffled that, show me a player who has more dynamism than Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and then we'll buy him and all this shit, just talking crap, and then, now you're in the packed schedule, so you can't complain now, boss, because if you're saying that no other player has the dynamism that Ox has, then play Ox. Don't be scared to play Ox come Christmas. Although you'll play shit, don't be scared. But again, his man management hasn't been one of the best things. But man management, I mean, like, taking off the player, like looking after players, like knowing this and that.
Yeah.
Keita came off United with, looked like a bad injury, but you played him straight away against Brighton. What happened? He's done his hamstring. So, again, it's just those kind of things. Like, when you have midweek games, when you have games after 2 days, how do you manage that?
Yeah, exactly. And final thing, boys, score predictions in this Arsenal game. Ben, I'll come to you, bro. Score predictions. Are we getting a win? Are we halting Arsenal's unbeaten run? Or are we made to wait until Wednesday when we play Porto?
I'm saying 3-2 to us. I think Arsenal, Smith Rowe is going to score. I think Saka will score as well. I'm going to say Mo Salah to score 2 and Minamino to score 1 just because I put him in my team.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going late winner. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool. Like you said, Ben, I see Arsenal scoring a goal in this game based on the fact, the attack is ticking. And, although Aaron Ramsdale will concede 2 goals from my score prediction, I do feel he'll have a decent game. He'll concede 1.
He'll probably have the game of his, the best game of his life. That's what goalkeepers do against us, man.
Nick Pope comes to mind. You have the Newcastle keeper.
You have Oblak.
Yeah,
Like,
all
come on,
black, man. These keepers, I don't know what they having before the game against Liverpool, bro. But yeah, to be fair, I think Ramsdale have a very good game and still concede one, and then late on, Salah with the goal rips his top off, runs over to the cop end, mate. Like Crystal Palace, like Manchester United. Salah, what are you saying, bro? You know, are you seeing? Is your mate going to be jumping around in school after an Arsenal win, or are you going to be the one jumping around?
To be honest, I'm not normally a type of fan like that. I'll do it with Manchester United. I'll do it with Manchester City.
You a humble fan. Humble fan.
For Arsenal, I'm humble because I
Yeah.
like Arsenal. I don't mind Arsenal. They're a good team. I have respect for Arsenal, but
Yeah.
like if it was United, then I'd get in the face. Like, say if they were talking shit before the game, then I will. But they haven't talked shit, so let's keep it like that.
Yeah, keep it fair play. So what are you saying, bro? What are you saying? Score predictions?
2-1 Arsenal.
No way. You actually saying that? Yeah.
I said it. I said it since last. Aled, I said it since the last vid. We're gonna lose to Arsenal, man.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough, mate. Enough said. Enough
I'm gonna
said.
go
I should have.
Smith row, and I'm gonna go Smith row double, and Jota's gonna get one.
I should have kept my score prediction till last so we could end on a bit of a high note. But seeing as Salah's, dropped in his score prediction and it's been like, he's predicted Liverpool to lose.
No,
I think we.
The thing is you shouldn't be surprised because I said it. The West Ham reaction, and then I said at the start of this video, I said I think we will lose this game.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you did say, to be fair, but I thought what you meant by that is if we play like we have done, we will lose to Arsenal. But nah, man is living realistically, and then as soon as we win, he'll be like, yeah, get in there, boys. But now. But big up to everybody who's tuned in during the stream. I hope you all had a good one. I've been mixing my words all day today. But first and foremost, smash a like, smash a subscribe to this channel. Hitting a like on the video will really help the platform. You'll never walk alone. And guys, big up to everybody who has stayed. Big up to everybody who will be watching this on the replay. You have my boy Salah, boy Wakar is not with us today, but we have our boy Ben as well. So guys, big up everybody. Take care all, and we will see you all after hopefully a Liverpool win. Take care all. Peace.
Take care, people.